Hi, welcome to the Career Sprints YouTube channel. My name is Rohit and we make videos for your professional development and continuous learning. Now in this video, I want to talk about the PGMP or the Program Management Certification Application Review and Rewrite service that we offer and how can we help you get approved for the PGMP application on the first try. In addition to that, in this video, I've also covered the steps you need to take in the PGMP application process and why PMI may reject some applications. So without wasting any time, let's dive in. So let us quickly understand what exactly is the PGMP application process. Now the PGMP application process is not just a formality. In fact, PGMP is considered to be a prestigious certification and PMI wants to ensure that only people with real program management experience qualify for it. And that is why this process is tough. So you need to take this process extremely seriously if you want to get the PGMP certification. And as you can see, the PGMP application process also involves an external evaluation by real program managers. So this is just not PMI's evaluation, but they are also going to send your application to third parties for them to review and provide their feedback on your application. Which is why some sources also suggest that the first time failure rate for PGMP applications is nearly 40 to 50%. Although this is not official information from PMI, but if you just go to the internet or if you just Google it, you will probably find some sources which kind of indicate that. However, this does not mean that you will not get approved for the PGMP application, but you just have to be sincere and spend time in this process. And what I can tell you is that 50% of your battle is won to obtain the PGMP certification if you are just able to pass this process. But let's further understand what the overall PGMP process is, like what are the different steps that you need to take and what does it involve. So once you begin the PGMP application, the first thing to note is that you have 90 days to complete and submit the application. If you're not able to do it within that time frame, then you will need to reopen the application and redo it, right? Similar to the PMP. And your PGMP application basically goes through 2 steps of evaluation until it's fully approved. So step 1 is called the application completeness review. This is something that is done by the PMI staff. And step 2 is the panel review, which is done by external program managers. And on this slide, we will explain the application completeness review by PMI. So that's the first thing that we're going to understand here. So like it says, this is just a preliminary evaluation to check if you've taken care of all the basic elements while filling out the application. So this review that is done by PMI basically just checks whether you have completely filled out the application, whether you meet the basic eligibility requirements or not. They don't really check too much of the quality of your program management experience summaries here, but that does not mean that people don't get rejected at this stage. And this process of PMI approval can take up to 10 days, but we've worked with several students and we've also spoken to many students who've said that they've passed this stage in roughly 3 to 4 days, right? So it doesn't necessarily take around 10 days to pass PMI's preliminary evaluation. It can be done even much faster. And once you pass PMI's application completeness review, you will then move on to the panel review stage, which is that stage where your application is actually sent out of PMI to external program managers, and then they are going to review your application. Now let's see why PMI may reject the application at the completeness review stage. And what I've done is that I've picked up a few reasons here, but there could be so many other reasons why PMI may reject someone's PGMP application. So some reasons, for instance, are that when you're describing the program, then you may not have brought out the strategic goal of the program, as you can see in the first bullet point. PMI actually is more interested in seeing the goal that you were expected to accomplish while playing the part of a program manager, rather than you just showcasing or demonstrating the company's overall goal, right? So try to bring out the program strategy here, or bring out the program goal rather than the company's portfolio level goal. And the next reason for rejection could be, let's say you're describing the benefits of the program and you do not use measurable language. So as an example, you might say that the program wanted to bring an improvement in market share numbers, but PMI really wants to see by what percentage you wanted to improve market share. They want this to be expressed in a more measurable way. For example, they want to see within how much time, what percentage of market share improvement did you want to bring, whether it's a quarter or 6 months, etc. So ensure that the language that you're using to, especially to bring out the benefits of the project, are measurable, of the program, are measurable. Now, the next point for rejection is that there is no clear assignment of strategic accountability. And by this, what I mean is that maybe your work came across as component level project management work, which is generally more tactical in nature, rather than you showing that you manage multiple projects as part of a program at a strategic program level. So you need to really explain how you manage the strategy of the program, rather than just updating documents or being too involved in day-to-day program, project management activities. And the fact is that if PMI does not see these things on the application, they may reject the application at this stage and they may send it back to you, and you will need to relook into it. And once you pass the completeness review stage, PMI is just going to ask you to pay the exam fees. And once you pay the fees, you will move on to the panel review stage. So the important thing to note here is that you just need to pay to be able to get to the panel review stage after this process. Now, when you get to the panel review stage, here is where the application is actually sent to external program managers for further evaluation. And they will basically review everything about the experience on the application, and specifically they will focus on your program experience summaries. Right now, what are these experience summaries? These experience summaries basically need to be written for 3 areas, which are the strategy, the leadership, and the governance domain. And I'm just going to quickly show it to you. But basically, they just want to see specific examples of how you handled these parts in the program. Now, for example, in strategy, they want to see how you contributed to the development of the business case and ensure that it aligned with the organization's strategic objective. Or for instance, in governance, how you used governance capabilities to manage risks and escalations. Now, in these 3 areas, that is strategy, leadership, and governance, you have 2 prompts each. So there are a total of 6 prompts that you have, but you only need to answer 1 prompt from each of these domains. So for instance, in strategy, you can see that there are 2 options that are given. In leadership, there are 2 options that are given. And in governance, there are 2 options that are given. You just need to choose one of the options, and then you need to write down specific examples and answers that answer that particular option or that specific prompt. So what you can just do is that you choose one from strategy, you choose one from leadership, and you choose one from governance that makes sense to you, and you write down the answers, and that's how you're going to go about it. And the key thing to remember here is that they want to see specific examples rather than just bookish terms. So if you've read the standards for program management, the 4th or the 5th edition, and you're trying to do this application, what you need to do is, rather than just using sentences from the book, you actually want to integrate those sentences with some of the work that you've done in reality, and you kind of want to bring it out in that way. Obviously, some sentences that you may write may sound very similar to the book, but broadly you want to ensure that it is a mix of some specific examples and some just some sentences that could be from that specific book. And another key thing to remember is that you are given 2 chances to pass the panel review stage. And this means that if the panel sends back your application with feedback saying it was not good enough and that you need to rewrite it, you will basically need to rewrite the application and try one more time. And if you're able to pass the panel review process the second time, that's great. But if you're not able to pass it, then they are going to refund you back the money that you've paid for the PgMP application or for the PgMP exam. Now on this slide, as you can see, it says PgMP application review and rewrite, and this is the key topic that I want to cover as part of this video, and I want to explain what exactly it is that we offer. So as part of this service, we provide complete and end-to-end guidance on how to position your PgMP application for PMI and the panel review, and help you understand how to get it through on the first try. We will also help you identify your programs and the component projects that you can show on the PgMP application, especially if you're not sure about them, right? Additionally, we will also provide you with examples of approved PgMP applications and a checklist that you can use to create a first draft of your PgMP application that you're going to send to us. And once you are on board with the PgMP application review and rewrite service, we will gather information that we need to write your PgMP application. Usually the way we gather this information is through a Zoom call, and this includes providing you with a template that you can use to enter your information in, and then you can send us your first draft. Now, once we have the information that we need from you, we are going to write your PgMP application and send it back to you for review and submission. And you can pretty much just take what we give and paste it in the PMI system. Now, another thing is that if you've already produced a first draft, once you're on board, you can just email that to us and we will review it, and our PgMP application expert is going to get back to you to schedule a Zoom meeting with you to have further discussions about whatever you have written, or if he or she may have any questions. Now, coming to another very important question. Why should you be trusting us or careersprints.com for your PgMP application review? So we are an established name in the PMI application review space, and we've helped over 500 plus candidates from all walks of life pass PMI's application process. This includes helping people with the PMP application, the PMI-ACP, the RMP, the PBA, and even PgMP applications. So all in all, I can just say that we are a highly reliable company, and I can assure you that if we write your application, it will get through, right? Just go to Google and read our reviews and see the trust our past clients have had in us, or they have shown in us, and the kind of reviews that they have left for us. And if you do have any further questions, feel free to email us at info@careersprints.com or call us at the number that is given here on this slide. But if you really need help to get your PgMP application approved, and you are a serious candidate who really wants to go beyond the millions of people who've had their PMP and want to differentiate yourself from them, getting the PgMP certification is a great idea, especially if you have the title of a program manager, or you're already doing program management and just want to get a certification to really further your knowledge and your understanding, and you feel that the application process is tricky, or that it's just going to take a lot of time for you to do it. Consider opting for the service. Whatever time and effort and money you will spend in getting this service will be worth it, and you will be on your way to be studying and passing the PgMP certification exam. Hi, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, I would request you to like this video and subscribe to the channel so that it motivates us to keep making more videos like these that can help you in your professional career. Thanks a lot.